to the Big Bang Review Show. This is episode 5, part 4. And we've been talking all about the latest Bon Jovi album, Forever. Now, this album was released last June, and it's probably my favorite Bon Jovi album come out in many, many years. I mean, we talked all about how much I love the songs on it. From top to bottom, just great songs, a great album. It doesn't really seem to matter that Richie Sambora is no longer in the band. Phil X seems to have come in, new guitarist Phil X, who's not all that new, that more. He's really seemed to kind of, come into the band and really made a mark on this album. He's done now 4 albums with the band. So I really recommend if you're a Bon Jovi fan, you kind of like the classic Bon Jovi sound. It's got a lot of that feel. It's got a lot of the modern day Bon Jovi. Pretty much, if you're a Bon Jovi fan, you're going to love it from top to bottom. I don't know what else to say. Again, Walls of Jericho's got to be my favorite song off the album. We talked a little bit about that in the last part of this episode, and it's just a great rock anthem. I really think it's going to get people up on their feet. I really hope they make a music video for that. And this latest episode of the Big Bang Review Show, we did a little differently, as we tend to do each time we do one of these episodes. And so, like a lot of people, these days when you first hear an album, it's all about how, what's your first reaction to a song is. And so, I talked about the song's Legendary. And let's see, Living Proof, that's another song I really dug off this album. And so again, the songs are great. As far as getting the whole package, which is what we're going to talk about today, I like the packaging a little. It's not to me, it's not really a great album cover. I think for a band that's been around for 40 years, they could have came up with a better looking album cover. That's just me. Now, I get what they were trying to do. Now, again, Bon Jovi is celebrating their 40th anniversary with the release of this album in 2024. And it kind of harkens back to the debut Bon Jovi album where John Bon Jovi was, the lone member of Bon Jovi on the front cover, standing in the streets of New York. And I think this might have been shot around the same area as the debut album cover was shot. And it's kind of John Bon Jovi 40 years later. So I get that. I think part of the reason they shot it in black and white is kind of the nostalgia. Now, again, as you know, I'm an old school guy. I love physical CDs. I love a lot of times the album cover will just wow me. Now, I actually think the back cover maybe would have been a better picture. I mean, this is the current lineup of Bon Jovi. You get all 5 guys. Again, this is supposed to harken back, I guess, to the debut album, and I get that, but the album cover doesn't wow me. I got to be honest, and so I'm going to give the album cover now only a score of a 5, which means that this album gets a total score of 80. 80 is not bad, but again, and again, 80 is not 90 or 100, but 80 is not bad. Like I said, overall, the songs are good. The only thing I really didn't like about the album itself was the album artwork. It just really didn't wow me. And so, again, when we decided to do this show, the Big Bang Review Show, part of what I was looking to do was not just review new albums and CDs. Again, we took it to the next level because in past episodes we did a review on a great Kiss book, and so in the future we may review some movies, some DVDs. You just never know when you tune into the Big Bang Review Show what we're going to talk about. We've talked about some great CD releases in the past, and we will continue to do that. But when I first got the idea to do the Big Bang Review Show, just to give you guys a little background on this show you're watching, I wanted it to be much more than just a review show where we review CDs. I wanted to have a type of thing where you never know what you're going to tune in. Like, maybe next time when you tune in, we'll be talking about a book or a movie or some other product. You just never know till you tune in. And so that makes the Big Bang Review Show very exciting, I think, for folks. And once you think about that, I wanted it to also be much more than a review show in the sense that I didn't want you to tune in each episode we do and be like, another great review, folks. I give this one 100. This is the greatest album I've heard in years. I wanted it to be so much more than that. And so I came up with how we score with stuff. And so basically, for anybody who doesn't know, each episode we do, we take a look at a certain aspect of the product we're reviewing. Now, in this case, we're reviewing this wonderful brand new CD by Bon Jovi. It's the latest studio album, celebrating 40 years. But this is an all new studio album. You get all new tracks and pretty kick-ass tracks. Now, the thing is, I could just sit here and I could write out a script. I could tell you another great Bon Jovi CD just dropped. But I wanted it again to be so much more. I wanted to tell you how we scored it. And this is the first time we've done one of these episodes where it wasn't really quite a 90 or a 100. And again, it's just kind of a way we scored it. And it has nothing to do with the fact that it's not a great album. In fact, I told you I loved everything about the album except for the album cover. And see, to be an honest show, I think we got to have a way to score the stuff. So you could see, okay, for example, each category. So we talked about, for example, in one of the past episodes about this album, for example, my first reaction to the song Legendary. And so I explained that. I told you, okay, I thought it was really a great song. So we score each category, for example, on a scale from 1 to 25. What did I think, for example, the song Legendary? I gave that a 25. And then I also gave Living Proof a 25. I thought it was really a great song. And so you're thinking, okay, 2 episodes into it, the album has received a score of 50. But then we do the 3rd episode talking about the new Bon Jovi album. I tell you, hey, my favorite track on the whole entire album, my all-time favorite track that I just really get off on is the song Walls of Jericho. Another song, I think it's really just top-notch song. It deserves a score of 25. So, okay. We're four parts into the episode now. And this part of the episode, we're talking about the album cover. Not a great album cover to me anyways. Some of you may like it, that's fine. But so it's like, okay, so the album been scored up to 75 so far, the first 3 parts of the episode. I only give the album cover 5, so it gets a total score of 80. And that's how we did it. And I think doing that way also, you're going to have a show where I might really like something, but it's not going to get a total 100. It might and it might not. You just never know. I mean, it's all about, in this case, how I react to the product. And since I bought this album, it's been in my CD player. I listen to it often on my way to work, on my way home. So I can tell you, I really dig the album. And honestly, this should have been the front, maybe on the front cover, because to me, this is what the band looks like now. This is who the band was. Another interesting fact is that when the debut Bon Jovi album came out 40 years ago in 1984, not all the guys were in the band yet. So that's why John Bon Jovi back 40 years ago was the only one in the band on the cover. And so, again, interestingly enough, talking about the debut album, just to give you guys some updated news, we may do another episode on Bon Jovi down the line, because come November 22nd, for all you diehard Bon Jovi fans, to continue the 40-year celebration, they are releasing a deluxe version of their debut album. I believe you can get it on CD and vinyl. I'm going to get mine on CD, and we'll talk all about that once I've got in my hands. But again, that doesn't come out till November 22nd, just in time for Thanksgiving, Christmas. So if you got a Bon Jovi fan and you don't know when to get them, that's something I'd strongly recommend for the holidays. Makes a great Christmas gift. And we'll be talking about that down the line. Also, for all you Bon Jovi fans, as you know, John Bon Jovi has been struggling with his voice. He had a major surgery, I believe it was last year, and that he talks a lot about that in the Bon Jovi documentary that's on Hulu. The documentary is wonderful. If you haven't seen it yet, I urge you to go do that. And so you've been watching the Big Bang Review Show. Like I said, we've been talking about the album forever. The album cover it doesn't do anything. It doesn't really wow me. But then I tell you, I love the fact that John Bon Jovi specifically, has a point in his life where he's 62 years old. He doesn't look like the same long-haired rocker he was 40 years ago. The hair is shorter, hair is gray. He's embraced his age, 62 years old, but he's still out there creating wonderful killer music for his fans. And I can't thank him and the band enough for doing that. Bon Jovi fan, I urge you guys to go get your hands on this. Killer stuff just from top to bottom. Bon Jovi's back in a huge way. And finally, to wrap up today's episode, I want to let you all know, I've heard that John Bon Jovi wasn't sure if he was going to be able to go out on tour to support this album. There was a chance that Bon Jovi might not ever be able to go back on the road. It looks like that John's voice is almost fully recovered, and he put out a press statement recently that it looks like the band's going to go on tour in 2025. So let's all hope that happens. And I want to wish you all a happy Halloween. We are upon the holiday season. So we've been talking about the Bon Jovi album forever. Go out and get it, folks. And now you're going to be able to watch the whole episode once this premieres this week. Go back and watch episodes 5, part 1 through 4. All 4 parts will be up later this week. Take care, my friends. See you again real soon. Bye for now.